What's up guys, Tamim Tech here with another video for you guys. Today we're comparing the Sony WH-1000XM4s to the itty bitty AirPod Pros. Why are we doing this comparison, you say? We have these over-ear noise cancelling headphones and those earbuds, on-ear noise cancelling headphones with the AirPod Pro Max, and they're very small and these are very big, and they have their differences and their pros and their cons and different use cases for you and how you plan on using them as a consumer. And I'm here to help you make a buying decision if you want to get the Sonys or the AirPod Pro Max, because frankly buying both is a very large expense and you can buy both for your different needs, but I'm here to break down those needs and break down the use cases and show you that they're actually almost similar but not quite. Let's get into it. So first things first, when we want to talk about headphones, we're obviously going to be searching YouTube and comparing these headphones, and we want to know about sound quality. So I'm going to break that down for you first, since that's probably what most of you are here for, is the sound quality thing. And I'm going to do some sound quality tests by playing a variety of songs. I'm going to play some today's hits. We got 24K Golden, The Baby, Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, and some jazz music. I'm gonna test both headphones out to see how they sound to me and give you my feedback on how I think they sounded, and we can go from there, because I can't really give you the sound quality experience because I don't have the binaural microphones, and I can't really display the sound from these headphones to you. I can maybe with the over-ear headphones, but with the AirPod Pros I'm not really sure how I can put that up to the microphone and make you guys experience that. So I'm going to listen to some songs and give you my feedback right now. So right now we got Coco by 24K Golden and The Baby. I can't even hear myself talk right now, so I have the noise cancelling turned on and then volume like halfway. And so far it sounds pretty good. Coco, Chanel. The bass is bumping. I have the EQ set at flat. The EQ set at a neutral sound profile, like it comes out the box. And the bass is knocking, the vocals are crisp, sound stage is kind of wide. If you close your eyes, you can really immerse yourself in the music. Alright, so with the song Coco by 24K Golden and The Baby, the bass was there. These have a very low sound profile, as I explained in my other video with my impressions of these headphones. The low frequencies are really brought up. The bass is there. You can turn it down if you want the EQ settings, or turn it up if you think you need more bass, but the bass is very nice. It's not distorted. It's, I'd say, fairly accurate to my hearing and my listening experience from being in music and messing with music over the years. The mids and vocals are up front. The soundstage is somewhat wide. It could be a little wider, a little more separation, and everything would sound literally perfect. But the profile is very warm as well. The sound is very warm. It's a very warm sound. I like it. You may not like it. It's subjective at this point to how Sony tunes these headphones. But so far so good with hip hop. So let's get into some R&B with Justin Bieber, and I'm gonna play Anyone and give you my feedback on that song. So back on these go, and we got Anyone by J Biebs. The thing I love about these headphones, I'll get into this in a little bit, is that every time you take them off, the music pauses and you put it back on, it plays again. Much awaited feature that should have been on here since like the very beginning of these headphones, the beginning of the line, but it's a welcomed feature. But Justin Bieber, the vocals are up front, they're warm, they're crisp. Instrument separation is good. You can really hear the separation between the voice and the instruments in the background, as it's almost you're sitting in front of them. The soundstage again could be a little wider. It is a little narrow, but it's wide enough to where if you close your eyes and immerse yourself in the music and turn it up just a little bit, you can feel as if though you're in the presence of the artist that's doing the song. So I have a feeling this theme will continue. So I'm gonna test out another song, Taylor Swift Willow, because that's more of a different genre where there's strings in there and a little bit of different little percussions, and the vocals should be more upfront and a little bit more warm. That's what my expectations are. So I'm gonna listen to some T Swift and just give you my feedback on that with sound quality wise, and then we'll compare the AirPod Pros, and then we'll see where they stand with each other, in my humble opinion. So let's listen to this T Swift and see how that sounds. We got Willow by Taylor Swift, and I can already tell that the strings are up front and they're still on the low end. Her vocals are crisp. Constant theme here, crisp vocals. I'm gonna keep repeating myself, so it's the same theme with Taylor Swift. It could be a little brighter. The soundstage could be wider. I'm gonna keep saying that, and it's just what it is. The soundstage could be wider, and everything sounds good. So it's pretty much me repeating myself with all the other songs with this sound profile that comes out of the box. The Sonys are overall pretty good. Now, something a little different, I'm going to listen to some jazz and see how that sounds, and then we'll give a verdict. Well, not a verdict, but we'll listen to the same songs, the AirPod Pros, and I'll give you my little feedback on that. I wish you could listen to it with me, but I unfortunately cannot play these songs because of copyright. So, I'm going to listen to some jazz and give you my feedback on that, and then we'll get into AirPod Pros and try to make this video as short as possible and get to the point. Alright, let's get into some jazz. So we got some jazz, just in time with the Oscar Peterson Trio. And if you close your eyes, immerse yourself, it's as if you're sitting in that cafe, the band in front of you, percussion on the left, piano on the right, merging together in the middle. Soundstage could be wider, but sounds pretty good. So let's listen to the AirPod Pros and see how they compare to the songs I just listened to. Let's go do that. We're gonna switch it up right about now. Alright, so we got the AirPod Pros in, and we're going to bump the same song from the beginning. We're gonna bump, what did we play in the beginning? We're gonna play today's hits. We're gonna play Coco. So back to Coco. We got the volume at 60% because that's equivalent to Sony's 50%. Already I can tell the sound profile on this is focused on the mids and the vocals, because that sounds a bit more crisp, but the bass is lacking compared to the Sonys by a lot. Everything's balanced. I'm gonna pause this. Everything is balanced with this song with Coco, Chanel, and compared to the Sonys have that bass, that low sound profile, a very warm sound profile. The sound profile on the AirPod Pros are not as warm. They're a little bit on the cooler side and a little bit warm, maybe lukewarm, while the Sonys are like a really warm tone when it comes to the sound quality. But they both sound pretty good. And it's gonna come down to how you want to use your headphones, whether it's working out or office space, but we'll talk about that after the sound quality part. Let's get into Anyone by Bieber and see how that sounds compared to the Sonys in my opinion. So we got Anyone by the Biebs. We're gonna play that right now. I have the volume again at 60% because the Sonys are really loud in general, so at 50% you should be satisfied. And if you really want to drown people out, maybe 65%. Anything louder than that might be a little loud. The AirPod Pros, however, I've maxed it out before and the sound is not distorted, but it's still very loud and not good for your ear health, so I don't recommend doing that. The mids again are the focus here. Vocals are very crisp. Separation on the AirPod Pros is really good for how small they are, and it's almost comparable to the Sonys. for the size, I mean, it's pretty good soundstage. But yeah, the emphasis on the vocals instrument is a lot brighter than the Sony's. Yeah. So if you really care about vocals and you're not a bass head and you want to hear crisp vocals come in front of the music as opposed to more balanced and having the bass kind of come up a little bit, the AirPod Pros are probably a little better at that for sure. But you can adjust that in the Sony app. So in the Sony app, you can adjust the EQ to make the vocals sound brighter and come more up front. But just out of the box, the AirPod Pros make the vocals come out in front, and there's an emphasis on that, and there's a lot more balance. I'd say it's a more balanced sound, where the Sonys have a little bit more bass. The bass is more present, and this kind of lacks the bass, but again, it's balanced. Plus, these don't really have the drivers to really give you that oomph in that bass. So this is pretty good. Let's listen to Willow by Taylor Swift and see how that sounds right about now. Alright, so I'm bumping Willow. Strings are up front. So you need the AirPod Pros at about 65% to have a satisfying sound. Anything lower, it's kind of quieter. The music isn't as rich, I'd say. Yeah, about 65% the music's rich. Hold on, man. I need to put the Sonys back on because the AirPod Pros are literally competing with them right now in this song. Let's put the Sonys on and listen to Willow again. And hold on, man. I need to. Alright, one thing I noticed is that with the Sonys, as soon as I took the AirPod Pros out, it immediately connected back to the Sonys. That was pretty cool. Let me put the Sonys at 65% and see if the sound is better. Alright. I got a little hype on the AirPod Pros. The Sonys sound way better. I had the Sonys at 50% and the AirPod Pros at 65%, just because the volume difference is there, but when the AirPod Pros are at 50% volume, it's not as rich, you're not really as immersed. But when you put the Sonys at that same volume level, you're twice as immersed. Yeah, twice as immersed, and the sound quality the soundstage is so much better. I take that back. I got a little hype on the AirPod Pros. Not an Apple fanboy here, but the Sonys are definitely way better sound quality wise. I'm sure the Jazz is going to be the same way. So let's just end the sound quality thing by saying the obvious verdict that everyone probably saw coming. The Sonys sound way better. Way better. So let's get into user experience and usage to really figure out which headphones would probably be better for you. Let's talk about that right now. Alright, so comfort. The comfort of these headphones. The Sonys weigh about 254 grams. The AirPod Pros weigh about 5.4 grams. Obviously, the lighter ones are going to be more comfortable for you. You're going to be able to wear it for a longer duration compared to these, where a longer duration maybe it'll get a little heavy on your head. But these are very light. These are very light headphones. The only thing that might be uncomfortable is wearing around your neck for too long, but you can spread these down a little bit. It might make your neck a little sweaty and your ears a little sweaty after long durations of listening to these headphones. But compared to the AirPod Pros, I mean, obviously the comfort of the AirPod Pros are going to be the better choice when it comes to comfort, because they're little tiny light earbuds that go inside of your ear and they weigh practically nothing. You could lay down on your pillow with these headphones and you won't even feel them. You can do anything with these headphones and it's like they're not even there because they're just so light. And the breathability, your ears obviously will not get warm and hot with the AirPod Pros because they're not over your ear and immersed in your ear cups like that. Whereas compared to the Sonys, it will immerse your ear and will get really warm in there after a long duration. And when we're talking about warmth and sweat, the Sonys obviously are not IP rated. There's no water resistance in these headphones, so I would be careful wearing them if you're working out. You don't want to get any kind of water in here, otherwise you might damage them. Where compared to AirPod Pros, it does have an IP rating and it would be good for sports and whatnot, but you would have to be careful of the AirPod Pro slipping out of your ear. As when you first buy them, the fit is good, it's sealed completely, but the more you wear on that silicone, the more you sweat on it, the more dirt it gets on there. It does eventually start to slip out. I do notice sometimes that with noise canceling on, I will notice that the AirPods are slipping out because some noise is coming in. And once I adjust it, everything is just like canceled out again, and everything is all good. Noise canceling works again, and sound quality is there. So when it comes to comfort, the Sonys are good, but the AirPod Pros obviously will win that category because of their form factor. So with fit and comfort, AirPod Pros definitely win in that category just because of their form factor, but these are no slouch either. Talk about ambient mode. Both headphones have an ambient mode, but do it differently. The AirPods have a transparency mode, which is ambient mode, and it sounds the most natural compared to the Sonys. It's as if you're not even wearing the AirPod Pros and the sound comes in as if it's just coming in naturally. It doesn't have that digitized sound where it's being processed and coming back into your ear through the microphones like the Sonys. The Sonys don't sound bad with ambient sound, but it does sound more unnatural. It sounds a little more tinny. It just doesn't sound like someone's actually talking to you like you're not wearing headphones compared to the AirPod Pros. And the Sonys have different ambient sound levels. I think it's like 20 different levels of ambient sound. So you can adjust that to adjust how much you want the microphones to bring in the sound. And there's different features in the Sony has compared to the AirPod Pros to enable ambient sound. So there's speak to chat, and speak to chat is very nice. If you're wearing your headphones and you have speak to chat on, you don't have to put your hand over the ear cup to talk to somebody the entire time. You can start talking and the music will stop, or it'll just play really low in the background, and it only detects your voice. It doesn't detect someone else talking to you. Only when you start talking, the headphones can't stop the music, and you can continue conversation, and then it will go back to playing the music once you're done talking. After 30 seconds by default, you can adjust the amount of time that the music will start again, as low as 15 seconds after you're done talking, or you could just press play again and then the music will start again. It's a very good feature, but if you really love singing along to your songs, or you're a weirdo like me and talk to yourself sometimes, that feature is going to be kind of annoying, because if you're talking to yourself and counting things out loud, or you read something out loud for some reason, or you just want to sing along to your music because you love the sound quality of these headphones, speak to chat is not the way to go. It's a good idea. It's a good little thing. I wouldn't say it's gimmicky, but it's a nice feature as long as you don't plan on singing along to your songs or you don't talk to yourself. So that's a good feature to have on there with ambient sound. Or you could go with the original way that Sony had it with these headphones and put one hand over the right ear cup and keep your hand there, and the headphones will allow sound to come in so you can have conversations. Once you take your hand off, you're back and immersed in your music. Or the AirPods Pro, all you have is transparency mode, or you can turn off noise canceling and turn on your volume. Now, my findings with the AirPods Pro with transparency mode is that if you have the volume up loud with your music and transparency mode is on, you still can't hear people talking to you. So you would have to turn down your music to below maybe 40% to have a decent conversation with someone with transparency mode. So bear that in mind as well. So both these have ambient sound in mind. The Sonys have more features to bring in the ambient sound and different levels of ambient sound, where you can focus on voice and just turn it down to different levels. It also has adaptive sound control, or adaptive ambient sound, where it picks up on what your movements are. If you're waiting, it'll adjust the ambient sound to that. If you're walking, it'll adjust the ambient sound to that so you can hear your environment. If you're traveling, it'll adjust the ambient sound to complete noise cancellation so you can enjoy your music while you're traveling and commuting throughout the city. Even though we're not doing that right now nowadays, but hopefully we can get back to that cycle eventually once these vaccines roll out. So ambient sound is good on both headphones, but it's more natural sounding on the AirPods Pro to conclude this little rant about ambient sound. Now let's talk about the battery life and experience with that. Features. The AirPod Pros have no features. Just kidding. They have features. Obviously, noise canceling transparent mode is one of the features. You also have spatial audio. I didn't talk about that yet. Spatial audio in the AirPod Pros. They pretty much give you a surround sound experience using the gyroscopes from both devices. You use the gyroscopes and accelerometer from your AirPod Pros and gyroscope and accelerometer on your iPad or iPhone. I'm not sure if the iPad has those sensors, but it uses sensors that connect with the devices, the iPad and the iPhone, to detect where you are when it comes to head movements. So if you're moving your head over here, the sound will still sound like it's coming from the left side. The sound comes from the right side, from in front of you, from behind you. It's a very, it's an amazing theater-like experience, to be honest. And I'm really surprised they didn't bring this feature to Mac OS or TV OS. Hopefully some kind of update can do that, but from what I read online, it's because the Macs lack a gyroscope and the TV lacks, the Apple TV lacks gyroscope, so that's why they can't really make that feature happen. But hopefully when these newer MacBooks and maybe a newer Apple TV model comes out, they'll have these special chips and gimmicks, I'd say, even though it's a really good experience, and gyroscopes to allow the spatial audio experience with the AirPod Pros and the AirPods Max, since those headphones obviously will have that as well. So spatial audio is a really cool experience. Sony kind of has that with the 360 audio, but you need certain apps to use it, and it's not really optimized for other stuff. So maybe in time Sony can figure that out and compete with Apple, but spatial audio was definitely an amazing experience if you haven't experienced it with the AirPod Pros. So that's one feature that you have there. The Sony's features, they have the obviously noise canceling, ambient mode. It used to have virtual VPT, where you could select certain settings to make it feel like you're in a concert hall or in a lounge, or just different like environmental settings to copy into the headphones, which is pretty cool. But they got rid of that with the XM4s for some reason. I don't know why. Obviously you have the EQ where you can adjust it to bright, mellow, energetic, vocal, speech. Customize your EQ however you want with the bass, make it non-existent, make it more existent, more present. You have the digital sound enhancer engine, where basically it takes compressed music files that are low quality and brings up that sound quality so it can sound really good. Both headphones have Bluetooth 5.0, and from my experience, from my room up here and going all the way to the other side of the house downstairs in the kitchen with the AirPods Pros, no disconnection, perfectly fine. With these headphones, no disconnection, perfectly fine. And that's more than 30 feet. So that's head connection on these headphones is perfectly okay. And even when I prioritize sound quality on these headphones over stable connection, I still have that really good connection where it doesn't drop off at all. So you can also prioritize sound quality over stable connection with the Sonys. So if you're listening to high bandwidth, high quality streaming audio, and you for some reason don't have a good connection with these headphones, you can prioritize stable connection and you should be fine. But I've had no issues with stability with these headphones. Bluetooth latency when it comes to listening to videos and watching videos, the Sonys sound just fine with Bluetooth. There's no lag with my devices, with my Apple TV. There's no lag when it comes to listening to stuff on the iPad or the iPhone. No lag on the MacBook, no lag on the PC. They just put out an update too to fix issues with the Sonys and the PC. And I'll further look into that. So I don't really use these headphones with my PC that much. I use my Skull Candy Crushers because I like the game on those. I like the bass really turned up on that when I'm gaming. So AirPod Pros obviously will not have latency issues. I tested it before in my other video where I showed you my AirPod Pro review. No lag on the Apple TV, no lag on the MacBook, no lag on the iPhone, no lag on... I haven't connected them to the PC, but I'm sure there's no lag there. Latency is just fine with the AirPod Pros, so you shouldn't expect any lag there either. So looking good in that category. Overall verdict of these headphones. I've been talking a lot about the features, the ambient sounds, the noise canceling, the sound quality, the seamlessness. The Sonys do have the ability to connect to two devices at once, so you pretty much almost get the iOS experience with any device, frankly, with the Sonys. I have it connected to my MacBook, my iPhone, and the connection is seamless. In the Sony app, you can see what two devices it's connected to. So right now it's not connected to the MacBook because it's turned off, but once I turn it on, it will say connected to both. Here, let me actually show you guys for a second. Pause. So right here, I don't know if you can see it. I'm actually gonna screen record, but in this little area right here, it says MacBook Pro, and the headphones just turned themselves off because they've been idle for a long time. But in that little screen over there, I'll make a screen recording, make it pop up for you guys. But basically what that showed you was that there's two devices connected to these headphones, my iPhone and the MacBook, and they go back and forth very easily. Once I start playing something on the MacBook, it will just start playing that audio. Once I stop playing audio on that and go to the iPhone, it will do that. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Now, I still haven't tested it trying to connect to other devices, but I'm sure it's a little seamless experience. Obviously, the AirPod Pros is going to switch between iPad, Mac OS, and iPhone seamlessly. So with the iPhone and iPad, if you play something on the iPhone, it'll play there right away. As soon as you play something on the iPad, while that's playing, it'll stop the iPhone media and play on the iPad. With Mac OS, it's not as seamless. You do have to just click on the AirPods Pro manually sometimes. No big deal. Apple TV manually, no big deal. Just the connection, it's fine. So let's talk about the final verdict. The final verdict with these headphones is which one is better for you. Should you get the Sony or should you get the AirPod Pros? Now, if you are someone who likes to work out a lot and you're in office space a lot, and you can utilize one AirPod Pro to listen to music while you're doing your documenting or filing or stocking or whatever you're doing. The AirPod Pros are very good headphones for you because you will have that water resistance, dust resistance. It's simple and small in the ear. It's not something that's all on your head. Nothing that's distracting. Battery life is decent, up to 6 hours or 24 hours total with the case. The AirPod Pros are definitely something for someone who's long and likes to work out a lot and doesn't want big headphones over their head all day long to eventually cause discomfort. The Sonys, you can work out with them at your own risk, but I worked out with my XM2s before, and the touch sensors on the headphones, where you swipe to press play and press next, and the volume up and down, it got a little messed up. Not totally not functional, but it got a little messed up. So with the Sonys, you can work out with these, yeah, but I wouldn't do it, especially for the money. Unless you got money like that, you got the warranty, then by all means, have at it. But these aren't protected by water resistance, just keep that in mind. Now, if you're someone who travels a lot, commutes a lot, maybe you're doing some mixing and mastering, and you want to use these headphones. I'm not an audiophile, but I mean, I would use different headphones for mixing and mastering, like Sennheisers or Audio-Technicas or something like that. But you can do that with these. I mean, I've edited lots of videos with these headphones on before, and I think it sounds just fine, especially with the flat sound profile, and you can turn on the bass a little bit if you feel like it's a little unrealistic. But the Sonys overall, I think, is more for the commuter, more for someone who sits down and listens to music, not in an office setting, but you want to enjoy like a theater-like experience. Well, not theater-like experience, but like really just cancel out all the noise when you're watching TV or media, or like I said, commuting, or if you travel a lot by plane. Just in general, the person that travels a lot is what these headphones would be for. Or if you're just someone that enjoys the best out of your music and really wants to be immersed in your music, these headphones are for you. If you want that complete immersion, that complete really good sound experience, that complete noise canceling while you're listening to music, these are for you. So take what you want with that. I'm gonna say the Sonys are overall better, but they cost more. But overall, the Sonys are better because they are capable of doing everything AirPod Pros can do. The AirPod Pros just win when it comes to convenience and easeability of use, and overall comfort and fit, and just not being huge and all up on your face. But overall, I'd say the Sonys are the better headphones here, and you honestly won't go wrong with either purchase. So if you like the video, hit the like button, hit that bell icon for my next video, hit the subscribe button because 99% of you are not subscribed to me, and it really help my channel if 99% of you were subscribed. So until then, take care, peace. Don't be like my cat and sleep on my videos. Subscribe, please, and thank you.